Hi, my name is Hussein Ahmed and you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking about an extension of our definition of literature, where we say literature is a reflection of our society, a reflection of the happenings in our society, and a reflection of course, the people in every society. Today we are going to be talking about the genres of literature. Now, literature have three genres, which are the poetry, the prose, and drama. Before I continue, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification icon so that you always get the notification whenever I upload a new video. So today we are going to be focusing on prose. Now, prose is a means through which you understand what literature is all about. And this is why, aside the three genres of literature, we have other subgenres of literature, which include the themes of works of literature. For example, we have fantasy works, we have thriller works, we have action works, we have comedy works. We also have, of course, children type of content works. These are all literature, and these works can be in form of prose. They are considered as subgenres of literature because they are not part of the three general genres of literature, but then they are topics to which you grab content to form literary works. Now, on prose, what is prose? A prose is a work of a narration of events. A prose can be a narration, it can be a description, but then the main concept of prose is to give a story, is to tell us about a particular happening or to explore about a topic in a narrative form, that is to say, in a series of event form. And this is the reason why Aristotle is of the opinion that when you want to write a prose or when you want to write a narration of events, you need to have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. This does not limit to the fact that we have prose works that starts with ending, then you get the beginning and you get the middle. What I'm trying to say is, in some prose works, you find out that you see the end of you see the middle, which is the climax of the story from the beginning. But then as time goes on, you get to see how it all led to the beginning, which is the middle, and how it now leads to where it started from, then to the end. These are some concepts or some ingredients that you find in a prose work. Now, what are the classification of prose works we have? Now, when you are classifying a prose work, you do that based on the number of words on the pages. We have the mini saga. The mini saga is a work of prose that is very small, that you can read in a single sitting, that you can read in less than an hour if possible. A mini saga is a work that does not exceed 5,000 words. Mini saga is minute, and an example of a mini saga is Garbage School by Abdullahi Ismail. A novella. A novella is a work where you can read in 2 or 3 sittings. Now, a novella can exceed 10,000 words or less than that. A novella is classified based on the level of story it carries. For instance, in mini saga, you get to see that you really have a major subject matter. You hardly see coexisting stories or coexisting events happening in the work. You only see a linear kind of story. But in a novella, you find out that you get to see more stories unfolding in a novella. An example of a novella is Passport of Malabilia, which a lot of students read in secondary school in Nigeria. Now, in Passport of Malabilia, we have series of events in the book. This is an example of a novella, and you can read Passport of Malabilia in 2 or 3 sittings. Now, the third classification of prose is the novel. The novel is one of the most common and widely read kind of books. Novels are works that exceed unlimited number of words. Example of novels are collection of John Grisham, Dan Brown's, Leonardo da Vinci. These are works that are classified as novels because they have unlimited number of words, and they are not works that you can read in a single, a twice or thrice sitting. Now, having talked about the classification of prose works, let's get into understanding what are the elements that you need to search for. What are those things that you need to check out for in order for you to realize that this is a prose work? Number one, we have plot. Now, a plot is a series of events in a summary form. A plot is very short, a plot is precise, a plot covers the subject matter of the story. Now, under these same elements, we have what we call the subject matter slash the theme of the work. This brings us to the relationship between a plot, a subject matter, and a theme. Now, a plot is summary of a prose work. Subject matter is the broad narrative of a prose work. The subject matter is the major story in a prose work. Now, themes are those subtopics in a particular book. Now, in Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, the subject matter is pre-colonialism. That is the major topic of the work. But then, when you start reading, you realize that you have other subtopics like polygamy, way of life of rural people, farming, hunting. These are themes of works that are not the subject matter, but they support the main subject matter itself. This is another element of a prose. Third element of a prose work is setting. Now, in setting, we have two categorization. We have temporal setting and we have spatial setting. Based on how the name comes, a temporal setting is the timing of your story, the timing of a story. Was it written in a pre-colonial era kind of capture? Was it written during the World War? Was it written to reflect post-World War? Was it written to reflect post-Republic nation of Nigeria? Was it written to reflect the independence period in Nigeria? This is the temporal setting of a novel. Now, the other aspect, which is the spatial, as the name implies, space. This refers to the location you captured in your novel. We have novels that captured southern Nigeria, we have novels that capture northern Nigeria. Now, when you classify your novel like this, when you portray your novel to have northern names, when you portray your novel to have western names, when you portray your novel to have southern names, you are classifying it spatially. The names and the communities you use in your novels, whether they are fictional or non-fictional, how you portray them will determine the space and time you are using in your novel. The fourth element of a prose we are going to be looking at is styles and techniques. Now, styles and techniques is very broad. We have figures of speech under it. We have diction, which is how you use your language. Is it simple? Is it complex? Or is it average? Depending on the language you use, the classification of how you use it is all called diction. Under styles and techniques, we also have the mood of your story. Did you write your story to portray a happy mood? Did you write your story to portray that you are sad? We also have tone. Did you write your story in a tone of celebration or in a tone of melancholy or in a tone of lamentation? These are some of the rudiments we have under styles and techniques of a prose work. Now, having explained these bases, let's come back to the types of prose we have. Now, in prose, we have fiction and non-fiction. In order for you to understand what literature is about, in order for you to understand what prose is about, in order for you to understand what fiction and non-fiction is about, it is very important for you to understand the classification I explained earlier, and it's also very important for you to understand the elements of a prose work. Now, what are fictional prose works? Fiction is imagination. Fiction is thinking out of the box. Fiction is putting down what is not in existence. Fictional prose works are works that did not happen as a true life story. They are works that happen from imagination of a writer. Now, non-fiction is the opposite of fictional. A non-fictional work is an example of an autobiography. A non-fictional work is a true life story. A non-fictional work is an experience of someone or the writer. A non-fictional work is a write-up that you can picture the writer or the person the writer is talking about. A non-fiction is an opposite of a fictional work. So it means in non-fiction you need imagination, but your imagination is going to come in form of making your work more understandable, more didactic and relatable by the audience or the reader. But in fiction, you are creating a new story entirely. You are creating new experiences that you feel might be happening somewhere that you don't know about. But then in fiction, you are writing from your imagination, and in non-fiction, you are writing from true life experience. These are the two types of prose in literature. Now, the second genres of literature we'll be looking at is poetry, but we will not be doing that now. We'll be doing it in our next class. So having said this, my name is Hussein Espian Ahmed. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification icon so that you get a notification when I upload a new video. Bye bye.